Hey guys, I just wanted to do a rundown of a free response here. This is from the 2008 mock exam. I will be posting this in the description below, but you do have these in your study materials. So be sure to go to there and download the 2008 mock exam. This is question one. Use that as a way to follow along with this video. So here we go. So the first thing we need to know about these questions is just that you have 50 minutes to answer all three of these questions. All right. So one, two, and three. All right. So in this video, I'm just going to be doing number one here. My suggestion is that you try and do as much as you can on question one. Most of your points on the exam will come from question one. So do most of the work, most of the time that you have, spend on question one. Make sure you label all of your graphs. Label everything. I will be labeling everything just so you know what they are looking for. Um, so let's see here. Yes. Oh, and then when they say show directional changes, you're going to do exactly what I do with everything, right? I do arrows. Okay. You want to treat the people that are grading this exam like they don't know what's happening. And you need to show them, hey, this is going this way. This is going this way. Okay. So let's take a look at this one. CD and Z holds a patent on a unique medical device that is used for DNA mapping. Assume that CD and Z is a single price profit maximizing monopolist and is currently earning positive economic profits. So it is very, 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 very important that we read that first sentence. I know me, I quickly just drop down to here, and then I have no idea what they're talking about. So it is very important that you understand what is happening here. So number one, they are a single price profit maximizing monopolist, and more importantly, they're earning economic profits. So what are we doing here? Drawing a correctly labeled graph showing each of the following. So we're going to show the profit maximizing price and quantity. So we know how to do that. Okay. All you got to do, all right, and you're like, I don't know how to draw this graph. Yes, you do. What did they ask you to do? It's a monopoly. Demand. Oh wait, hold on. Let me label my axis real quick. So that's price, quantity. So you have to label your axes. When I say axes, I'm talking about price and quantity. You need to put those there. We are now going to be drawing our demand curve and our marginal revenue curve. Okay, the next thing we need is our marginal cost. If you are still struggling with drawing a monopoly graph, please review the micrographs uh, slides. Okay, so so what we're going to do here is we're going to have the profit max. So remember we do MR equals MC. We will then do quantity. And how do you find quantity? You go straight down. Okay, and then step three was finding the price. How do we find price? We go up to demand. Step four, which we're going to get to in a second, is finding your ATC. How do we find ATC? Well, we go up to the ATC. And then finally, step five is profits, which is price minus the ATC times the quantity. So these are the steps. You do not have to write out the steps. I am writing them just so you know what we're going to be doing. So the first step I told you was MR equals MC. So now we find the quantity. Then we go up to the demand to find price. So that's your price. Now, step four is finding your ATC. That is why it is very important to read the question here because they are earning economic profits. That means that your price is more than your ATC. So therefore, when you're drawing your ATC, you have to make sure it is below price. Okay, so this is your ATC. All right, so right there, so now we need to label P star and Q star as our profit max. So we did P star and Q star. So we're good to go there. Now we need to label the area representing the profits. So what all you have to do here is draw a square right here, and you can kind of shade it in if you want. And then you're going to put a little arrow that says profits. This area right here is your profits. Right? So that answers that part. And then we need the allocative efficient level of output QS. Well, as soon as you read allocative efficient, you know that's price equals MC. And I always suggest demand equals MC. The reason I say demand equals MC because that's exactly where we're going. We're going where the demand curve is equal to the MC. All right, now allocative efficient is still price equals MC. That is true. Okay, and I say demand equals MC just so you can locate it on the graph. And besides, how do we find price? We go up to the demand curve. So that's how we do it there. So this is your QS, your uh, social quantity, your allocative efficient output. And that's all we have to do for A. Okay? Just a simple monopoly graph. Nothing special. Number two, instead of profit maximizing, now assume they maximize total revenue. If your question is, what is maximum total revenue? Remember, that looks like this. This is your total revenue, and your maximum is up here. And your maximum is whenever you're no longer increasing and you start to decrease. So that would mean that your marginal revenue is zero. So anytime you read maximizes total revenue, that is MR equals zero. So on your graph, identify the output level that the CD and Z would choose, label as QR. So we're going to put where MR equals zero, and that happens right here because that is zero. This line right here is zero. So where is MR equal to zero? At this point. So this is QR. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. All right, so that's good. Explain why the output you identified maximizes total revenue. So the reason, then all we have to say is that when MR equals zero, total revenue reaches maximum. And that's it. Assume that the government imposes a set price, a price control, so that the allocative efficient level of output is produced. So on your graph, show this set price as PS. So all we got to do is we have the quantity QS. So now we just need to go to the price. So that would be straight across PS. So we got a point there. With the price control, explain whether CD and Z maximizes profits. So your first instinct is to say no. And the reason you would say no is because that's not where marginal revenue is. And you would be correct. However, because the government says this is the price, is this a price maker? Is your monopoly a price maker? No, because the government is telling you what the price should be. So guess what? They are a price taker. And when you're a price taker, guess what? Your price is your marginal revenue. And so is your price equal to marginal cost? Yes. So therefore, is your marginal revenue equal to marginal cost? Yes. So for this question right here, explain whether it maximizes profits. your answer would be yes. And the reason is because controlled price becomes marginal revenue. So it produces where MR equals MC. Okay. Now D. Assume now the government levies a per unit tax of T dollars on CD and Z's output. Assume that now CD and Z maximizes its profits. So now we're back to MR equals MC, and now we have a tax. So compared with price and quantity, how will the maximizing output and price change? So anytime we have a tax, what's going to happen to price? Price will go up, quantity will go down. Now, you do not have to draw this on the graph because it didn't say that, but if you are confused about why that's happening, let me show you. So that's demand, marginal revenue, marginal cost. Now, if it's a per unit tax, that changes every quantity. And if it changes every quantity, right, that's going to change your marginal cost, right? Because your cost of making one more unit changed, so your marginal cost will increase. So we are now going to be doing a higher marginal cost. So if we were here at this price and quantity, because MR equals MC, we are now going to be at this quantity and this price because of the increase in the tax. So we now have a higher price and a lower quantity. So to answer this question, all you have to say is price increases and quantity decreases. Okay. Now, the second part here, compared with the quantity in part A, so part A is up here, does this per unit tax lead to a more efficient level of output? So what happened to output? Well, we just said that output decreases. So we want to be at QS, right? Because that's the allocated efficient one. Are we moving closer to that or farther away from it? We are actually moving farther away from it. So to answer part D double I, so D double I, the per unit tax does not lead to more allocative efficient output. And if they ask for a reason, it is because the firm becomes less efficient since output is further from allocative efficient. Allocative efficient level. Okay, and that was all of one. So if you need to rewatch the video, please do so. But that's pretty straightforward what they're looking for on this question here. I will be moving on to question 2 in the next video. Thank you very much. Have a good day.